Alrighty, fellow Deathbats and Lady Deathbats, welcome into Sinister J's Kingdom, and in this video I'm going to show you guys how to draw Nosaj from the Holy Outsider. So let's just go over to the other screen. If you're wondering why I'm being kind of quiet, it's because I'm in a library today and I'm just recording this from the library. So, right, first to start, we have the blank paper here, obviously. Now, I was in the middle of working on the comic strip so far. I'm not going to go any more into what I'm doing there, but I'm going to be doing live streams at some point of me drawing these out for you guys to show you guys a little bit more in detail and in depth as to what I'm doing. But right now, we're going to go here. We're going to turn it black like normal. Um, do like we will do the same way I was doing with Millie Me. It's just going to be this is going to be a different format. This isn't going to be as curvy, but it's still going to be the shape of a guy. So, alright, let's get started. So, let's just draw the head first, like we did last time. And so there's the head. Now with guys, with males, you want to go back and you want to like curve this out a lot more. You want a like thicker chin. You don't want that point like the women have. You want to actually have a more of a masculine chin is what I want, what the word I'm looking for. So go back and redo that again. So you have this like masculine chin. So like that. Now we're gonna zoom in a bit and we'll go up and we'll sit right here and I'm gonna draw the eyes from here. And with the eyes, you just kind of want to like make standard eyes. Like just you're not gonna do anything further than the basics with eyes for guys. The eyes for guys are a little bit easier than women's eyes. Women's eyes, they put makeup on and all that, so that's why normally with women you want to have them have that really dark outline around their eyes. Now, we're gonna draw, so that's where I'm leaving the eyes. So from here, I'll do the basic things I always do to the eyes, or up and down. Um, Sometimes you can add a curve in there. I might actually start doing that when I draw. Just have it like more curved. Oh, I don't want to do that side. But you want to do this with both eyes. You want to like kind of do that, and it's just so it gives it. If you look at a person's eyes, there's always an outline of like a line above it. So it gives that like shading to that kind of, but it's not fully in 100% there. So you want to come down and just like basically draw the nose, which you can go like that with it, and go back up. So from there, like with the mouth, you're gonna just basically do this. Now, I'm gonna get them smiling. So, all right, and I'm gonna make these lines thicker. So I'm gonna go back over them again real quick, and then. All right, so I'm gonna finish that out, and then I'll start talking again. Alright, so from here on out, you can just do your eyebrows, which is basically a line above each and every single one of your eyes. And then now with that, you can come in here and just draw the circle for the pupil. So I didn't like the way these were drawn, so I'm going to go back and go over them again real quick and just do the rest of it. I'll be back to talk in a second. Yeah, as you can see, it takes me a little bit of time to draw these, just like the basics of like each character, outlining them and all that. It does normally take me a little bit to just get it right to the point where I want it to be. So that's a big enough pupil right there. They're both about equal. My thing is like this, when I draw these, it isn't always like 100% accurate. It's like as close as I can get it, in case you haven't noticed. But you'll notice that my drawings are a lot different than most comic book artists. That's because they have their done a certain way, and I do mine. Just I have my method of doing things. So from here, I'm gonna add two. I'm gonna add a ear over here and an ear over here, and then we'll do the hair. We'll add the hair in, and then the beard and everything. So like this, and just like that, and then I'm gonna do the same for this side, just to make the ears are pretty simple. They're usually just a curb. So you want to try to make it go out a little bit of past the face. So right there, and then you're gonna go back and just go in and clear this out then. All right. So now we have that drawn out. So next we're gonna go and add his hair in. So and with his hair, I usually leave his pretty simple. Because this is about simple as like my actual hairstyle. There's nothing special about this character. I just draw him the way I draw him, and usually that's how I've been leaving him. He reminded me of myself. Like, the thing about me as a person is I do things pretty simply. I like don't go above and beyond with some of this stuff, but I do it to the best of my ability. And that's why normally I end up having people like the stuff I do, is because there was a professor I had years ago in college. He told me, and he said it, he's like, simplicity is always the best. And he went into explaining some of the stuff about how simplicity was always the best. It wasn't ever, you didn't have to always go over the top for some of the stuff. And I take some of these lessons that I've learned throughout my life and utilize them in some of the stuff I do. And it's taught me that you can really do well just by being simple. You don't need to go above and beyond. So let me fix this chin. I got a fat chin. I don't like it. So right here, this is where I'm gonna redraw that chin. So far, I like how that looks from that top. So we'll come down here, we'll add a chin in, and that's about good right there. So let's bring this back a little bit though. Come back and re-edit it. So now, basically from here on out, you're gonna add these lines where the cheeks are. And then you're gonna come in here, you're gonna add like the beard part of it. So, and as you notice, drawing the beard isn't very hard. It's just a bunch of like quick lines going around the bottom of a chin. And I don't really study drawing anime. My thing is I've drawn enough when I was younger to know how like some of it's just drawn, to know to just basically just know. There's no like real method to it unless you've like practiced. I mean, if you haven't practiced it, I mean, I'm not 100% professional, but I still do have my, ways of doing things that comes off nicer than what most people give me credit for. And it's, like I said, it's basically all simplified. So now we're going to draw his mustache. And I mean, sometimes I connect it, sometimes I don't. But as you can see here, now we've got a beard on him. Now, I don't normally fill in the sides like this, but this might be something I do in the future. I'm gonna make the beard a little bit longer. I usually make his beard short, but in case you haven't noticed, as I'm drawing the comic book, I normally end up tweaking some things throughout it. So that's why, some things I practice along the way in my art form until I get it at a level, you know, I like it at. So, all right. And now we got the head. I'm gonna go ahead and clear some things out, and then what I'm gonna do later on is I'm gonna come back and just shade some things in to make it look nicer. It looks good for what it is, but there's stuff that still needs done here. So anyway, let's zoom back out. Actually, let's just go down. Actually, zoom back out a little bit. Too much right there. I usually have a magnifying glass that does this. Alright, so from here on out, we just want to make his body. So, me being the hero, I like to try to make it to my standard as best as possible. I'm not in I'm not like in a super greatest shape, but I still have a pretty good physique from what I noticed a lot of like, when women like a guy, they usually look at his physique, and I have the physique that some women do like. So, um, and that's just what I've been told. It's not something I make up. It's actually what I've been told. So, and most times I just keep it basic. I don't really go above and beyond with my physique. Like, I just basically keep the character as simple as possible and work the story around the character. So now, alright, so that's good like that. So, in case you're wondering what that is, again, I think I brought it up last time. It's the hoodie. So when you on the top of a hoodie, you have the hood. That's what this is. Sorry, I bumped it with my pen. All right. So going back, we're gonna add a bit of a line here for his hoodie. All right, and from here, we're gonna draw the rest of the hoodie. So now you can draw the shoulders pretty big on a guy. A guy's drawing males are different than drawing women. Um, in certain aspects. I particularly will say I enjoy drawing. Uh, I enjoy drawing both. Particularly because as a guy, you want to like sometimes you over exaggerate the women and you give them bigger boobs than you want or like something along the lines of that. Not trying to be pervert here, but that's simply like how I draw them sometimes. And I have, over the course of time, had to practice drawing women characters because I wasn't sure how I was going to handle it. But I've gotten better at it since I've been working with one character. Well, two women characters. Alright, so now, that's good how that is. I want to fix this arm up a tad bit. Actually, I want to fix this arm up a little bit. Alright, so we'll come back and we'll draw an outline of sort of a muscle with a wrinkle in his shirt. Alright, and now we can come down and we can finish him out, draw some hands. Believe me, drawing hands is not fun. If you're a person out there that's just like, I love drawing hands, good for you. That's something I'm not good at. You get props for that one. So and then so those aren't bad looking hands. Those are better than normal hands. Better than how I normally draw hands. Alright, and so from here I'm gonna make the hoodie more it's a, it was a it's a bigger hoodie, so I want it to kind of like have that waviness to it. I'm gonna go back and fix that. Alright, and from here we'll draw like my pants. Somebody was talking to me about it. They're like, well, what are you gonna do? Or you know, he was like pretty much suggested I draw a scene in there where the two main characters, they tend to kiss and do other stuff, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna do that yet. If I do that, it's just gonna probably be them kissing and lead into like a blank spot within the story. So, but okay, so I don't have enough room here to draw shoes, but shoes are pretty much gonna be like this. When you draw shoes on these characters, you want to go like this, and then come around, and then draw your shoe like this. That's how I normally draw them. However, I don't normally do it too often, but that's how I would draw the shoes down here. So let me go back and clear this up a little bit. I don't know why I went so far off the paper with this model. So that's how you draw Nosaj. So actually, there's one more thing you gotta draw for him, and it's the back. So back of my hair is a bit long. It's getting there. I'm just leaving it grow out because that's just how I do things now. But there you go. That's how you draw Nosaj. Nosaj is like a very easy character to draw. Nothing over the top with him. He's just basic, average. Like me. Everybody likes me, but I'm just pretty much average. I don't really go above and beyond for some of my stuff. So, now we're gonna do some shading. So we'll go in and we'll like darken everything up. And then I'm gonna go back and just shade everything in. So yeah. And then like you can add pockets onto this character if you want. Like I just normally leave it like that because like with the characters I draw, they're pretty much just like always in black and white. So even the details So like right there, some wrinkles. All the details are pretty much in the shading. There's nothing beyond shading unless you're like gonna color this in. Now, if I was to ever like go and color this guy, color any of them in, it'd look a lot different. Sometimes the color doesn't make them come out like as good as I would like them to, and that's just something I noticed when I do color on some of these characters. I don't like the way the color comes out, even though everything is a work in progress for me. Um, Sometimes it'll come out nicer than I expected, or like I could be saying that right now and it might be better than it looks. Right, and so we'll do shading by the neck. Alright, and then we'll shade right here. Alright, and I think this is going to be the last part. And now, yep. So that's about it. All right. So we're gonna do two more things. We're gonna do the side face, the full side face, and a half side face. So first we're gonna do the half side face. So if you're gonna draw the half side face, you want to go like this, sort of like how I did with the girls, the Millie Me, but this one's gonna look a little bit be a little bit different because it is a guy. So we're gonna come down and we're gonna bring that curve right there down a little bit. Because with Nosaj, you want to kind of have them, you kind of want to have him like, so his hairs, you want to have him so you can draw his hair in, and then you can do all that. So, and then basically the same thing here. Let's just say he's in shock. Alright, and then we're gonna go ahead and go like this. Put the beard on him. And then come back through here. Put the mustache. And then draw all the rest of everything. So with this, I usually leave like that as the back of his hair, because you can see it, and then basically take this here in the center and just modify it so it's like turned, pretty much. So it's gonna be sort of like this. And vice versa, so you get where I'm going on, you get where I'm going with the rest of this. And you draw like the obvious stand from the side point of view. Alright, and so the next one is, again, this is the moon face, is what I like to call it. So you want to go like this again. And with this, you want to like, and you can give the chin a bit on the thick side because it is a guy. And then, so I'm gonna go like this. Always make sure the hair comes out from the head a little bit when you're drawing it. Otherwise, you're gonna have it look kind of, it's gonna look kind of weird. Same thing. Do his beard, and then his mustache, and the neck, and his hat. And just like that. So you get all three ways of its joint being drawn. The reason this one in the center looks nice here, because this one took a little bit more time. So this one right here, no one center, is the best one out of them all. But the real issues are when you get to the side point, it does tend to be a little bit more difficult. Now, if I was to sit there and like totally work on them, they'd look a lot different. They look a lot nicer, which you know, I'm gonna call it there, so you know what they would look like if they were drawn on the side. You've seen me do my work, or you've seen my work before if you've followed my comic book. So I'm calling this video right here. So let me get back to the big screen. All right, and there you go. You have it. That's how you draw my character Nosaj. Later on next season, he's gonna have a big beard like this. So it's gonna be exactly big like this. So. But hope you enjoyed that. I'll be back with another tutorial on angels next, and then I'll go into drawing my demons because I have a couple demons in the story right now. I have Lilith and I have the anti-light, and then I have two angels in the story right now. And the biggest thing I think I should really show people is how to draw the wings, because the wings really are difficult. They look like, and the way I draw them is like thinking of them like fish scales, like pretty much drawing scales on a fish, but drawing them in feather form. So, all right. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this one, and take it easy, fellow death bats and lady of death bats, and rock on.